to try things differently this time, now in front of a waterfall. Okay, so today we have the DJI Avata. It's an FPV drone and I personally have never flown FPVs. I can straight up say this is the best drone you can get as a beginner if you're getting into FPVs. FPV drones has always been known to be very technical and you've got to learn how to solder your own drone or build your own drone. DJI has just cut all of that in and made it very easy for beginners to start with a platform that is relatively small and maneuverable to some extent. So the specs of the DJI Avata, 1.17 inch CMOS sensor, 48 megapixels, and a field of view of 155 degrees. The goggles itself does up to 4K 60. It's very comfortable. One of the most comfortable goggles or DJI goggles they make. This DJI Avata Pro View combo, you get the motion controller, the goggles and the drone itself for $1,388, and that's very reasonable if you're just starting out. You can eventually dive into the racing drones sometime in the future if you plan to, or even get the bigger FPV drone that DJI also makes. So it's a huge win for beginners. You also get really good cameras on the DJI Avata. Usually FPVs are paired with a GoPro or any action cam. I really love it. I really love this drone, and I hope it continues to progress in the future. So as an FPV drone, the DJI Avata is by far one of the easiest drones to fly, considering how it's mostly paired with this motion controller. It's somewhat of a joystick if you were to think about it, but it's in for the free play, and essentially you just move your wrist up and down to go up or down, and this is the trigger button for it to go forwards. And from there is this knowing which space to fly and having some guts to go through some spaces. Okay, if you're in places like this where there's many holes for a drone to go through, do your best not to fly in commercial areas because you will get into trouble. Flying FPV lately has become really fun thing to do on my free time, and especially the fact that this is an FPV. I just wish I could fly it everywhere, but it's so noisy. I know I'm gonna get into trouble or get some attention from someone, and I think that's the main flaw of just drones in general, because it just causes so much noise. But if there is some tech someday in the future where they will get really silent, that's gonna be very dangerous, mostly on privacy. But as a content creator or someone who just loves flying, I really want that to happen. Okay, so I think my main impressions of this drone, I really do wish it was a bit more powerful, because on its own with no wind drag, it does fly. I mean, it only does about 6 meters per second, which is only 21 kilometers an hour. After just a couple of weeks flying this drone, I already feel like it's lacking a bit of that power. I would just sometimes wish I could just go a bit more faster, and in places like this where wind draft is very strong, you kind of want that extra power to go against the wind, and this does not have that. But if you are looking at a beginner's perspective, this is far more than enough, albeit you fly in areas that don't have high winds. But if you're always looking to fly in bigger spaces like a stadium, this is an abandoned stadium, by the way, so don't fly in stadiums that is occupied. Other than that, the fact that it's somewhat built with carbon fiber, I guess, yeah, you can make a lot of mistakes if you intend on making mistakes. I think my biggest fear when it comes to normal drones is the fact that the wingspan of the propellers are always my biggest fear. Yeah, you can add like propeller guards to those drones, but it will still ultimately be a big drone. This is very tiny. I think my only gripe out of it is just the power. I just wish there was a bit more power to it. I know I'm not ready to fly 200 kilometers an hour like how most racing drones can go, but if you have a thing when it comes to speed, then I suggest just getting the DJI FPV. That goes up to 100 kilometers an hour or 120 kilometers an hour. I'm not entirely sure. Paired with a motion controller, this is a perfect drone to start off with. But again, it just depends. Are you willing to spend 4,000 to 5,000 ringgit on a drone? I will put the price in ringgit and dollars here for you guys. Paired with the goggles, this goggles, DJI goggles 2. You won't get any better than this because it goes up to 4K 60, and the field of view on this 155 degrees. It's not the best camera if I were to be completely honest, but as an FPV drone, it's by far one of the best. I can't really say for sure as an FPV pilot. I'm not much of a pilot to begin with, but as someone who has experienced a couple of drones here and there, oh my god, that was so close. Yeah, battery life was dying on me right there. Yeah, best starter drone that DJI has made. And yeah, that is my full review of the DJI Avata. If you have any questions about this drone, do let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing all the footage I've managed to capture for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Thank you.